Hello, good morning, and welcome to episode 28 of Nebula Quest. I am Noden, your host, as always. So, man, I just got totally reminded of, is it an episode of Doctor Who? Where there's like the star was like a living thing, and it was like inhabiting people, and they were staring at the sun? Or was that another movie? Where people would there was like an observation room, and then they would like go and stare at the sun, and then they would die. I don't remember now. I think I might be confusing an episode of Doctor Who with another movie. Anyways, I was reminded suddenly of that as I stared into this big boiling ball of plasma. Okay, let us continue on with our exploration as we head towards the Horsehead Nebula, as we do in our great adventure. Whoop. Slow this down just a little bit. Yeah, so, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. So, this morning at 2 a.m., roughly 12 hours ago, I recorded the episode of Nebula Quest that went up on Thursday, and now I'm recording this next episode. What I'm trying to say is that I don't have any new topics. I got nothing new to talk about. Well, almost nothing. Well, pretty much nothing new. But it's yeah, bit of a hardship. All right, I'll slow it down. Get turned around. That looks like a thing too. Speaking of things. Oh, we're not actually even frame shifting. That would explain why we're going so slow.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Are we in? Okay, slow it down. Alright, yeah, so that's pretty, like I say, pretty much, not a lot to talk about. So what did we talk about in the last episode? Last episode we talked about how my absence from the channel, my well, I don't know what we talked about. We talked about Grand Theft Auto being a huge download. That's downloading right now in the background. Actually, and then Pat reminded me today that Project Cars also came out today, so I had to, because I pre-purchased it, but I needed to download that anyways. So that's now in queue too. So now I've got, you know, like, I don't know, 75 gigs worth of downloading to do over today. I was just like, goodness gracious. My poor internet is never going to do it. It's never going to do it. I was actually considering picking up a new ISP. I've been looking into it, and the obvious answer is to go with like cable internet because it's just so much damn faster. One downside to that is that our local cable internet company sucks balls, is pretty much the verdict that I got. So I've been talking to a few people, and they have been complaining pretty much with every breath about the local cable company provider, and also that fact that it's really expensive. Now, I should also say that one of the people who is the most vocal about how much it sucks is also like the cheapest man I have ever met in my entire life. Oh, I got cats fighting. We should maybe start exploring this, and then we can shoo a cat. And come on, 5, thank you. Okay, slow down. All right. Oh, he's gonna fuck off on his own. Okay, good. Good. I like it when I don't have to intervene. Yeah, cheapest guy I've ever met. Like, and I don't have a problem with thriftiness. I mean, my mother's like, you know, my mother's of Scottish descent. She's pretty thrifty, you know, would be the exact right word for it. You know, keeping with the Scottish stereotypes. But yeah, I've never met somebody who is so I don't know what the right word is. willing to sacrifice his own enjoyment of things to save insignificant amounts of money. It's really quite strange, but I mean, and everybody's got, you know, their levels of what they're comfortable spending money on for different, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Commodities that aren't necessary, entertainment commodities and things like that. Like, you know, you're only willing to spend so much on your gym membership. You're only willing to spend some, like, you know, if you're willing to spend anyone on a gym membership. I mean, most people around here anyway, spend $50 a month to say they have a gym membership, and then that's pretty much it. Like, they go for a few months and then they stop going. And I mean, I've done it myself, and then you're stuck paying for this for the rest of the year, kind of a thing. Well, the term of your contract like goes out, and do you guys have like contracts, like gym contracts, where you're from, like where you have to pay for a year or something like that? That always seemed like a really strange thing to me. Like, why would we have... Oh, sorry, I got a burp. Why would you have, like, a payment contract on a gym membership? I mean, I don't even get it really for cell phones and things like that, but I suppose it's, you know, there's, you know, competition enough out there that they want to make sure that, you know, their promotional pricing doesn't get abused or something. I have no idea, but I don't get minimum contracts on gym memberships. I don't get minimum contracts. Yeah, I mean, I totally get them from a business sense, but like from a, hey, I want to provide a service to people and I want them to like me, it just doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem compatible to me at all. Anyways, but yeah, so, I don't know, strangeness. Anyways, yeah, so thrifty guy, just very, and, anyway, so yeah, he was complaining about it because he doesn't like spending money, and it is pricey for unlimited internet. And it's like, unless you're paying for like the cable television as well, it becomes more expensive, and that's how they get you, right? They're like, well, you know, we'll give you a better deal, but only if you buy our other services and yada yada yada. Oops, wrong. I gotta remember that I can't dubstep scan whilst I'm in that menu. Nothing new, good. Alright, let's cruise back. Let's lock a desto. Oh, and now I'm all sneezy. Snurfly and sneezy. Where am I going? Over here. This is a big old system. Big old pretty system, though. It's got a nice little brown dwarf over there in the Wayhams? Wayhams? I don't know. Yes. So I was talking, one of the things I did talk about last episode, was Mighty Car Mods, which is a YouTube channel. Fantastic. I've been watching it like mad. Just, I love it. Absolutely love it. Not that this made me think of it, because I've been thinking about it for a while, but one of the things that actually got me interested in doing is I've been thinking about changing out. I've been thinking about doing something that I haven't heard anybody. Okay, can we slow down, please? Jesus Christ, like, I can't press S anymore, guys. I had to accelerate and then decelerate again. Like, what is with that? I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm telling you, it's a Toyota problem. I have a Toyota problem. My ship needs a recall. A very rocky, but very white planet. That looks like blue cheese. Yeah, so I've been thinking about doing something that I haven't heard anybody say that they were going to do in, oh, I don't know, like 10 years. And that is, I'm going to put a deck in my car. Oh, yes. The radio, so I drive a Yaris, It's as we discussed last time, it's 2007, Toyota Yaris, and the radio, and it's I mean, it's fine. It's a radio, right? It's got AM, FM, CD, that sort of thing. Don't use the CD in it. Hardly use the AM, FM radio. Well, don't use the AM part of it at all. But I don't like, I don't use the CD. I don't use the radio. What I need is like a way to connect my phone to my radio. Perfect. So when I bought the car back in 2007, actually early 2008. No, it was still late 2007 because the 2008 model years were like coming like in 2 weeks. And I don't know, I bought the 2007 because it was on the lot, because I was an idiot. Anyway, so when I bought the car, I spent 500 bucks, 500 space bucks on getting an iPod adapter for this thing. So it was like well, not factory installed, but it was like dealer installed, and goes in the glove box, a nice big wire, whatever, it plugs right into your iPod. Totally worked for like, I don't know, a good month, and then it just stopped working completely. And like, and everybody I talked to was like, well, why didn't you take it back? I'm like, I don't know, because I have a problem with taking stuff back, because I'm weird. Yeah, so it never worked right. And then once like, we'd gone into the touchscreen era of things, I think that it was just like not capable of dealing. Like, I don't think it was really designed for touchscreens. It didn't have that in mind when, okay, slow down. What's a boy got to do to get his ship to slow down? Okay. Jeezy crazy. Speaking of which, look how close of binary system this is, man. Anyway, so yeah, it never worked at all, and so it's like, I've always had to have, like, I've basically, for the last, I don't know, like 2 years, 3 years at any rate, I've been like, just like driving around and like with like earbuds and just using my like headphones while I'm driving, which I think is actually technically illegal, which I don't understand why it's illegal, but I think it is technically illegal. And I mean, I can use it's a hands-free device, so, go fuck yourself, Mr. Police Officer, but I wouldn't say that. I mean, that would be rude and uncalled for, and I'd just be getting defensive for defensiveness' sake. But yeah, so I haven't been really happy, so I've thought about, like, what can I do to, like, make things work? I'm like, well, how much would it cost to put, like, a Bluetooth radio into my car? So I'm like, well, look it up, and I'm like, oh, 120 bucks. 200 bucks kind of, like, max area. I'm like, wow, that's super reasonable. And, I'm in a comfort level with how much work would have to be done to do it. And, yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I'm going to do this soon. Oh, 1 second. Very soon, I'm going to be going and putting a new radio in my car. Alright, I need to do something gross here, so let's just pretend like this isn't going to happen. Whew. Gross, had to blow my nose. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I was actually looking at, and then I'm going to start doing that. I'm like, so I'm putting in like kind of like a touchscreeny one. It's gonna look really cool in my car. But I got looking at the ones with like the navigation systems built in, like with like a Garmin kind of built into it as well. Because I'm like, well, it'd be really even nicer. Because I'm like, I was also thinking, I'm like, well, not thinking, but I'm also planning on putting a USB up to the dash so that when I have my phone, on the on a cradle or something like that, and using it as a GPS, I can plug it in and power and delicious things. Oh goodness. But so then I'm like, well, but if I get one with a GPS, built into it, I don't even need to use that. So go looking at that, and I'm like, ooh, pretty much $1,000. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can, for the same money, like, buy the regular deck and like a brand new iPhone 6. Not a 6 Plus, mind you, but like a brand new iPhone 6. Why is it so pricey? So then you start looking around, and there are cheaper alternatives. What was it? Was it Suko? Like a brand I found on Amazon and eBay, and I don't even know. There's a few of them, but they're like $200 or something like that, and like just like a, I don't know, like some random Chinese import kind of a thing, and they look really, like, it looks really sort of good from like face value, because they run like Windows 8 or Android. I'm like, this makes total sense. Like, why isn't this how all these things work already? And then you get, like, you know, all the capabilities of like a smartphone, but it's built into your dash. I mean, this is what we want, right? So I'm looking at it, and they were like $200. I'm like, that's amazing pricing. Let's head over towards this little brownie dwarfy. Let's run a dubstep real quick too. Didn't think so, but yeah, so I'm like, you know, it's a phenomenal price. Then you start like reading the reviews, and everybody's like, yeah, it just stopped working within like a week. Specifically, like, it's got, I think what the big one is that it's got a an SD card that has the maps for the GPS built into it, and I think that SD card is usually the failure point on all of these things. At least that seems to be the case. So maybe something that you could actually like remove and back up and then be fine with, but I'm not sure about that. So I'm like, well, is it worth $200 to experiment, or is it worth $200 to just get a radio with Bluetooth that worked really well and put a USB in, and then down the road just buy a new iPhone 6? Like, is this, maybe that's what I'm just better off doing that. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, but I really don't know what is going to happen with any of that, but we'll find out. You know, it could be an adventure at some point. But yeah, so I'm like looking at how to, like, you know, get the trim off of my car and whatnot, and doing all the fun, exciting. I'm just ready to do it now at this point, but I need to wait for a paycheck to come in. Specifically, I'm waiting for when you're many places, when you're part-time in Canada anyways, they're still required to like give you like vacation time, but they don't necessarily like pay you for your vacation. They'll do it in a like sort of the second pay in May, which is when mine actually comes. They pay you out a certain percentage of your annual income as a vacation pay. So I basically end up with an extra, you know, check for a couple of grand, and you know, you go out and buy something, you know, go buy yourself something pretty, like you know, a deck for your car, and maybe something else. I don't know yet. I have some plans. I have some ideas of what to do with it, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm like, I got some silly ideas, and I got some big ideas, and they're all both big and silly, so we'll see which ones actually become reality later. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to do that. I don't know, there are lots of fun things, like little things like that I've always kind of wanted to do. I've also been thinking about, there's a few things I've been thinking about. I've been like shopping around. I've been doing a lot of like Kijiji searches and things too. Like, I've been looking at like buying like new cars. Actually, I've been looking at buying a new bike too. Just like a project bike, like something to just like, that I can just like fiddle with. I don't know, I'm in a very like mechanical play with things kind of mood, and I think that's why, like, certainly even right now, why like Mighty Car Mods is like, I found it at exactly the right time, or maybe I found it because it was the right time, where like my interest in like doing mechanical things is like higher than normal, like, because I don't know, like for me it comes in kind of waves. Like, I'll get like waves where I'm like super into something, and then it'll kind of like, you know, fade out for a while, and then it'll come back like really strong later on. And then I've got all the what I love, especially when it comes to things like mechanical stuff, like car modification, like cars and things like that, is that when it comes in waves like that, I've learned so many things like in between when the peaks of the waves, like in the trough of the wave, I've learned a bunch of other stuff, but so that when I get to the peaks, I know so much more, like just in general, so that like my interest is even higher than it was because I know more and I'm more capable of doing things with that information. I don't know, it's really, I don't know, it's fun. I mean, life is fun sometimes. Maybe it's my optimistic attitude, but I really love how just fun some things are. Some things are just so fun, guys. Guys, don't you think things are fun? I think things are fun. So what are you guys excited about? I'm excited about cars. I'm excited that it's nice out. Actually, it's really beautiful out today, and I'm going to record this. Probably record some ride. I have a lot of recording to do today. I have very many hours of recording to do today, but don't let that get you down. Don't let my effort have to get you down. But I'm gonna get do this. I'm gonna do about an hour of ride, and then I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna clean my car, and I'm gonna go on a motorcycle, and then I'll come back in here, and then I'm gonna do some more recording and get things nice and pretty and ready and organized for you guys to enjoy and intake and love with all of your beautiful YouTube hearts. You're not tubby. We haven't run a dubstep since we got out here. Let's do that real quick. Nothing new, thank goodness. Let's move away from that sun so we can get rid of that blinky light. Alright. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. And I think that means that once we get this and that explored, if we ever slow down... and we will call it an episode. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna put a deck in my car, running some USB up to the top of the dash there, so I can easily like plug stuff in like with short cables. Because that's my biggest complaint about, well, not my biggest complaint. One of my big complaints about my Yaris is that the power adapter is like back in behind the. It's like in the center console, so it's like a million miles away anyways from like the dash itself, so you can't plug anything in that's like at the dash without running like 3 feet of fucking cable to it. So it just looks horrible and it's always in the way, and yeah, I'm not happy with it. So I'm gonna run a USB up to the dash so I can just like put like a short ass little cable, just clip and then be done with it. I think that's a good idea. I'm excited. I want to do that to the bike as well, actually. Actually, it's one of the things I should do with if and when I get that paycheck is I should finally pick up a RAM mount for the bike, which is like a cell phone holder, or specifically, it's not a cell phone holder. RAM also makes a cell phone holder, which I'm going to also buy, but it's a series of bits and pieces, bobbins for attaching paraphernalia to motorcycles, and they're fantastic, and I really want one. I don't. Again, GPS being as useful as it is, when I took the bike up to Ottawa and Montreal last summer or last fall, I used the GPS, but I didn't actually like use the visual part of it. I just used the audio indicators, and that was mostly enough, I found. So maybe it's not necessary. I don't know. Alright, let's just double check that we have discovered all the things in here. It appears we have. Good. There's also a weak signal source we could investigate if we wanted to. No we don't. Alright, so let's cut the engines as we stare at that distant yellow sun that we were staring at when we started this episode, and we will call it an episode. So I will talk to you guys next time as we continue on our epic voyage. 3 epics plus 3 plus epic voyage to the nebula, Horsehead Nebula. Words, many words. Ciao, I love you. Good night.